welcome to the stream. It's I, Sparks. No, I'm Mars Europe. Sparks, you're Sparks.
I'm Sparks.
You're
Yeah,
Sparks.
that's me.
And we're together as Ghost Giraffe. Today we have a special, very special episode of Blossom, aka Elite Dangerous. No, not Elite Dangerous. The Ghost Giraffe stream, because we have a guest. And the guest, his name is Grozler, aka Scott of Remnant Protocol. Hello, Scott, or Grozler. I forget. I think we were going with our game names, right?
I think so. Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys. Really appreciate it.
All right. So right now, this is not your game here. This is Elite Dangerous, and it's just to fill in because I don't want to use all the assets you sent me in like the first 2 minutes of the stream, but Elite Dangerous, we have some updates coming up. On the 29th, update 14 is finally coming out, and we'll talk about that very, very soon. Lots of really crazy stuff happened over the weekend in-game leading up to that. And then we'll talk about some prospective, I don't know, I suppose we could speculate what update 15 and 16 are going to be, because those two have been mentioned. That they're in the pipeline, they're in the works and going forward, which is a lot different from Frontier's stance of, we have updates. We'll check in again in 3 months, maybe. Which is not something you expect from from those guys. But now they're saying, okay, we have not only update 14, we have update 15 and 16 coming up, and they're all going to be gameplay and mechanic new features. So that's great. Let's see if that's true. But for right now, I really, really want to share with you guys a game that I'm really excited about, because I saw it a few weeks ago on Twitter, and I saw the trailer for it, and I was like, oh my god, this looks like a game I cannot wait to play. And first, let me just show it to you guys. Let me go ahead and stop the spaceship from moving. Okay, there we go. Stop spaceship. Okay, very good, spaceship. Very good. Alright, now I'm going to play for you the thing, okay? Now I'm going to push the button that says web. This should all be black. Ah, it is. Good. Okay. See, guys? I told you I had the OBS ready. Okay, so Grozler, I'm gonna play your Remnant Protocol announcement teaser. You ready?
I'm ready.
Sparks, are you ready for this? He's ready.
Right.
Here we go.
Okay. Pretty cool, guys. As you can see, I'm really excited about this. And let me just go ahead and put this right here. So that way I could be a talking head, but still, it'd be kind of weird. We were talking about this before the stream. It'd be weird if I showed Elite Dangerous footage in the background while talking about a total different game. But Grozler, tell us, what is this game? Because it looks amazing. It reminds me a lot of old X-Wing, like just the cockpit and the little bit of the pew pews. And people in chat are like, this is great, looks dope. Space Dragon, which I have to say, we have to cover the Space Dragon. We won't talk about it now, but yeah, that's there. Okay, we'll go back to here. Actually, we'll go back to over here, because this right here is kind of cool. Yeah, what do you have to say for yourself there, Grozler?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you hit the nail on the head right there with the X-Wing comparison. Like, TIE Fighter is a game that, like, defined my childhood. And so I'm basically what the best, most succinct way to describe it is take TIE Fighter and add in, like, XCOM's strategy layer to it. So you are running a galactic rebellion from top to bottom. You decide what technologies are being researched, what ships are being built and maintained, what like your intelligence officers are doing, and then you jump in the cockpit and you're flying the missions from the front line yourself.
That's amazing. That's okay. Well,
That's
you gonna say
cool.
something, Sparks?
Oh well, no. I mean, the first thing I wanted to say was I'm actually really impressed with something super stupid, which is
As you
your
are.
yeah, which is actually your explosions, your particle effect for your explosions. I've been watching a lot of Corridor Crew, who are a bunch of video effects kind of people, and they bitch all the time about how people get explosions wrong, and they don't understand how like the physics of explosions work, and that the heat at the tips is actually where things need to cool down first, and your explosions look really good. So I
Okay,
know that's
explosions.
super
Appreciate
stupid.
that. Appreciate that. No, no, like those things take forever, right? Like you're constantly tweaking all those values, how long the debris lasts for, all those
Yeah,
kind of things.
yeah,
And the
yeah,
dissipation of the smoke.
yeah. I mean, the thing that they like complain about all the time on that channel is that a lot of like CGI explosions, they don't keep the heat of the physics uh, close to the original moment of energy. They put a lot of like bright stuff at the edges, but actually the edges are where explosions cool first, and so a really good practical effect looks good, and a lot of the CG ones don't because they mess with like how physics work with explosions. They make it too hot at the edges, and so I was seeing like a lot of black smoke, and I was like, oh, nice, this is gonna feel good.
Yeah, I noticed there's two different. I know you were saying that a lot of this is like very early, well, not early. Well, it's very early to show what the outside of the ships look like, and what the other cockpits look like. Um, but I've seen two sort of layouts here. Yeah, I have like, it looks like there's this turret here, this turret layout, and like this cockpit
Yeah,
layout
yep.
here. And especially this screen here, it screams X-wing right here. Um, but these other things, you were saying that this is going to be more dynamic. The UI is going to be a lot different than what we see here. But like, so far, what I see here is really cool. But what do you envision going forward? What a players are going to look at in the cockpits?
Yeah, so the goal is to have a bunch of cockpits, obviously, but some will feel kind of like your more modern jet fighter or like futuristic, obviously, jet fighter type feel with like those monitors you have up there, right? That are
Yeah.
actually like multi-function display screens, like those kind of things. And then the other one you're looking at with the turret in front will be more the like open concept, bubbly, with like the future UI projected screen type thing. So like we want to have a good mix where like as you upgrade your ships or build more advanced ships, they start to actually feel more advanced because they aren't just like jet
Oh.
fighter like anymore.
So you're
Oh,
saying
neat.
And
like as the fighters get better, or as you do upgrades, the look of the fighters also get sleeker, or
effectively, yeah, because you're researching and unlocking like new technology, and which will allow you to have like more open views like this.
okay. So that ties into the strategic part of it, where like you're actively researching stuff. You're building. Are you building a base of operations, or like a space fleet sort of thing? I know you sent me some slides. Is there one that you want me to go to right now that might answer that question?
I think we should just go through them all, honestly.
Okay, okay.
What you're actually building is a base. I guess you're basically running a rebellion. Like if you were in Star Wars, you're Mon Mothma in this scenario right
Yeah.
now, and you're deciding all the minutia of how you actually are going to overthrow and reclaim your throne, right? So you're making all those decisions. You're not like placing buildings on tiles or anything like that. It's more like a menu based, kind of like
Yeah.
XCOM or like a Darkest Dungeon, when you're back in the village doing those kind of operations. So that you're not actually manually placing like building tiles or anything like that. That's not what I mean by base building. Just like right here you're looking at the hangar screen, right?
Right.
Yeah.
See, slots 4 of 12.
Yeah, so you hold on. Sorry. Yeah, so you're expanding the hangar and how much you can accommodate your fleet wise and whatnot in this scenario of how like certain ships will take up certain amount of space in the hangar and things like that. So it's not, you're not like a superpower, right? You are literally hiding on Hoth effectively in this scenario, and you are trying to do as much as you can with as little as you can.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that kind of goes back to the XCOM sort of feel of like
Right.
you're up against basically the universe.
Exactly. And you start small, and you slowly, like in XCOMs, you dig out those tiles, right? And you can support more operations. And similar here, right? As you gather resources, you'll be able to expand your hangar and expand like your intelligence division and how much they can do and all that sort of stuff as your campaign progresses.
So, right now in chat, everyone wants to know the answer to, what's going on with VR support. So, I think instead of answering that question, let's just completely punish chat and talk about something completely different instead. We'll come back to
So
that.
mean.
No, actually, no. But I think this is actually a more important question before we get to that, because it might bleed into that, which is when you play the game amongst yourself or maybe beta testers, like what is the mechanic of the game, and like why is it fun? Like what is it that you're actually doing, and why is it something that people will enjoy playing?
Well, I think for me, when I played like the old Rogue Squadron games, for example, I never really felt like the Rebellion could lose. You know, like you'd always like finish the mission, or like you'd fail the mission and restart it, but eventually piece by piece you'd beat all the missions, you'd blow up the Death Star, you'd win the game, right? So what I wanted to was that I put like it really feel like a fight for survival. And so when you're running this rebellion and you lose a ship, that ship is gone. You know, you all the time you took to build it, all the resources you invested into it, it's just gone. And now you have to make do with what you have left, and to continue to try to crawl your way out of every single bad situation.
Got
To
it.
win.
So you have like the unbalance of like, hey, like this is like not going to be an obvious win for you as part of the motivation, the MacGuffin, if you will, in the game.
Exactly. I want it to feel stressful in a way, right? Like when you commit to sending this freighter into battle, are you prepared to lose it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I like
awesome.
that. I like being able to live with your mistakes, because
Exactly. Like it's not like a one and done. If you lose the freighter, game's over. You know, like you're gonna be able to come back, but at the same time, it's gonna feel bad that you've lost this ship or this pilot that you've trained for so many missions, and they gained experience and all that kind of stuff.
I really appreciate that. A friend of mine recently ran a D&D campaign where the goal of the D&D campaign was that everybody had 9 people, and then you went through a scenario where like probably one will survive, and the whole point of it was like stop having like this like preciousness of like you're the hero, everything's gonna be cool. Like you like have 9 people, each player has 9 people, but like whoever survives, now there's a story about that, and it gets you much more invested in it. And it sounds like you're kind of doing something similar, which is like taking the like, yeah, everything's gonna be okay, and like no, this is gonna be hard, and it'll make you care a little bit more about the journey that the player goes on.
Exactly. When you fail a mission, like I said in Rogue Squadron, you're like restart, don't care, let's keep going, right? But so same thing. If you lose that freighter that you've customized, named, it's like your baby in a way, right? Like you've lost a little piece of you. So it is gonna make these like memorable hooks for you as you play.
I'm seeing here there's home operations, and it's like there's some missions here, like council priority missions, guerrilla operations, raid missions. So there's different sort of missions, I guess, suppose you choose to go on. And then it's like success rewards and fail penalties here. Like it's pretty cool. It's like you kind of play. Do you feel like you play in a certain style? Certain people play in a certain style. Like maybe people just more do guerrilla operations. I feel like I would be that type of person. Or do you have to like play all these things to accommodate for different factions? Maybe you need to appease or whatever. I don't know. I'm sorry, going into more of like the nitty gritty of the game.
Yeah, no. So like the council missions are kind of like missions you have to do to advance your campaign to actually win the game at some point. and then the other missions are all like randomly generated and let you pick how you interact in the universe at large. Like you said, if you want to play like a more clandestine, sabotage, that kind of guerrilla operations, you can totally do that. If you want to be more political and like you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back, kind of that way, totally possible as well. Or mix and match of the two, whatever like gives you the biggest advantage you feel as the commander to move your actual campaign forward. You kind of have to like wear a bunch of hats.
I see.
That's cool.
This is
And again, like Chad is really wanting to ask about VR support. So instead, what I'd like to ask is,
we lose viewers every time we do that.
Well, no, but let's get into like a little bit of the nitty gritty of like what it's like to develop a game like this. So you're using Unity. Are you the solo dev on this?
I'm working with 3D modeler. It's me and him basically against the world. We contract out the guy that did the UI here. This is work in progress, okay? So this isn't finished. He actually works at Ubisoft. I'm sure you get a little bit of that Ubisoft feel right here.
Yeah, these clean Skyrim sort of menus here. Yeah.
Yeah, so we contracted him out, but the core team is me and a 3D modeler.
And how are you feeling about Unity as an engine? Do you like it? What frustrations have you come across developing? Like, hey, you wouldn't think this is hard, but this is the thing that's hard to do.
Yeah, sure. So like I've been using Unity for, I don't know, since like version 4, which is like I don't even know how long ago, 10 years at this point. So honestly, like the quirks of Unity don't bug me anymore like they did back then. I honestly just love how easy it is to just get a build up and running and able to just pass around and play with people, That's the biggest lifesaver for me right now.
Okay. Well, okay, I'll stop being a complete something negative word about it, but like one of the things about Unity that's kind of nice is that there is on roads to doing VR. Have you decided about what this game's relationship is to VR? Will there be VR support? Let's actually finally answer that question.
Sure, yeah, like I absolutely want to have VR support. I don't actually currently own a headset. We are running like a small Kickstarter. It already hit its goal, so there's like no pressure here from your audience. But like that money will be used to buy all the gear that we need, like VR headsets and like all the HOTAS setups and all those kind of flight sticks and other, like a PlayStation 4 controller and stuff like that.
Where's the application form for your your crew here? That's awesome.
Yeah, no, I was funded in 7 days. It was honestly amazing. I'm super excited.
So is most of the game in a cockpit, or is there just thinking about like from a VR game mechanic perspective, like being in a cockpit and being in VR, it's like, okay, that works. Moving and walking around, that complicates some VR stuff. Menus can complicate VR stuff. Is it mostly a cockpit based game?
Yeah, so you switch, right? When you're back in your base, it is like menu based. It is going to be interesting as a developer to try to like get rid of that fatigue like you're talking about of just looking at menus through a VR headset. The goal is to not make it that cumbersome for the menu section, and you'll be able to get through it reasonably quickly so you can get back to the cockpit. But it is definitely a concern in VR to like be fiddling around with menus indefinitely.
Very cool. Okay, so another just quick question on this one. From a game mechanics standpoint, what is something that from inception to now is like, this part of my game is really fun, and give us one thing that you're like, man, I'm really struggling with this part of the game that I'm making. I want to hear like a really good thing and a really bad thing that hopefully you'll overcome as you go on your journey.
Sure. So like honestly, I personally find just jumping in the cockpit and just whipping around quite enjoyable. I've enjoyed it since day one. I've slowly added like a bit of juice to it, with the way your head will like bob in and out to add more life to the actual flying and feel of it. Even just flying with the controller and like using the free look button to look around as at things around you is great. So I can't even imagine once I put a headset on for the first time and get to feel like an actual player of my own game. I think that's going to be like a real chef's kiss kind of moment.
Sure.
As for like the hard things, there's lots of struggles, obviously, as a developer, especially a small developer with a small budget. There's a lot of headaches. It's honestly the stuff I find most difficult is like the paperwork, and I know that's not game related, but I just hate like filling out forms. Like even just getting the game onto Steam, just for the wish list portion of it was like
Right.
so much paperwork and headache and like a tax interview and all this stuff. And like, I just want to make a game, bro. Can we like, you know?
Sure.
But as for the actual game to talk about, like balancing the strategy elements and just working with UI in general, I find extremely cumbersome because it's a lot of like margins and padding and trying to like make things look
Mhm.
just right and the text has to flow and all this crap, and it's just it's you spend so much time like moving something 2 pixels to the left and they're like A or B. You know, you like you're
Right.
at the eye doctors, like, is this better or worse? And you have to flip between them rapidly.
Yeah, on that note, so outside of Ghost Giraffe, I have another game company, and we try to do a particular balance of game where we actually do the game mechanic before we even know what the theme is. And one of the things that we do, because we're doing the math on it, is we make the game 100% balanced, like day one, because we're doing it with just like no aesthetics and all that. And then the next phase is to make it slightly unbalanced, because that's what actually makes a game fun. So there's something about, like, if the players ask for, like, hey, can I just have a button where I press it and then I win the game? It's like, well, you can, but then the game isn't fun. There needs to be like something that's a challenge, that's like, oh, like I earned this, I was rewarded for this. So in your game, what do you think is the most unbalanced, punishing, um, mechanic that, like, is a motivating factor? Like, hey, it feels really good when you accomplish blank.
So I think like the permanent loss of units like perfectly
Mm-hmm.
conveys that, because like it feels great when you bring all your ships home, and it feels awful if you just do a disastrous run and you've lost like
Right.
80% of your ships and stuff. So I think
Yeah.
that mechanic of like permanent death, in a way, permanent death is very motivating for you to always be on guard, because every mission you choose what ships come with you, right? It's not, the game doesn't decide for you. So you're the commander, right? You're making this judgment call and you live with the consequences. So you will feel bad when you've lost something you've spent a godly amount of money on.
Right. So let me ask you about another dynamic here. So the recent Call of Duty franchise has a new mode that's DMZ, and it's kind of like a Kharkov kind of thing, where like you jump in and you bring stuff with you, and if you die, you lose all your stuff. However, because it's Activision and they're pushing, as aggressively as possible, the game's still really buggy. And so it's possible to be in a mission and have the game crash and you lose everything. Have you thought about this? Is your game kind of protected from this? Is it not? About, like, what happens when a player puts everything on the line, but then, the game crashes, or something happens? Like, what is the dynamic of that in the environment?
Sure. I mean, it's a single player game. You can like totally save scum if you want to, right? You can just copy your save out and put it back in. So like, I'm gonna leave that up to the player. If they're gonna alt F4 out of the mission to avoid it, I'm not. Who am I to tell someone how they have fun? You know what I mean? But the
Sure.
default is that it'll just like incrementally save as you complete the missions and whatnot.
Got it. So your prophylactic, if you will, against crashes ruining the game is like, look, it's single player. I don't have to deal with a huge multiplayer universe and deal with the elephant in the room, right? Like cheaters, right? Which is what happens when you have to do a multiplayer game. You have all these people who, like, yeah, well, maybe they're going to be cheaters. This is a single player game. You're going to have fun. So like, we're gonna save your progress, and you're not going to be just punished if something happens in the game. Whatever you want to do, save your states or whatnot, that's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like it saves in between the missions, like when you're
Nice.
back in base. So like if it crashes mid flight, like we're seeing here on the screen, then no harm, no foul. You're not gonna lose anything. The mission doesn't conclude automatically or anything like that. You'll just go back to your base when you reload your save, and it's like you never launched the mission. So you can
Very
totally
cool.
save scum it, but like I said, it's not my job to police players. If
So
they find that fun, then go for it.
Right,
I wouldn't.
right.
I would feel bad playing like that, but that's not up to me to make the call.
That's one of the things I do with XCOM, where it feels the same way, where you lose a guy, and even though everybody was a successful mission, but you lose like your best sniper, and those guys are really tough to train. So, and sometimes I'll be okay, fine, I'll just keep on going like this. I just have to live with it. But sometimes I'm like, you know what, that game was baloney. Like
I missed that 95%.
yeah,
Go
like I
F
missed it
yourself, right?
95%, and I blew up a barrel near me. And like and so then I'll do the save scum thing and be like, okay, I'm doing this over
So
again.
if that's what you find fun, then all the power to you, right? It's the exact same thing here, right? If you feel like you were cheated in some capacity, then go ahead, alt F4 out of the game and try again. But
Yeah.
in a perfect world, you'd keep going.
Okay,
So,
right now I have.
oh, go ahead, Mars.
sorry. I have running is the a mission preview. Do you want to talk about this mission here? Just right now, I'm seeing a lot of flak being shot at you. You're taking down a lot of fighters. It looks like you're protecting these ships, or you're.
Yep, exactly. You're supposed to protect these big freighters with the blue engines. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of ships enough, so like the difference between a good guy and a bad guy is the engine color right now, but that'll change in the future. But yeah, you're 100% trying to protect these giant freighters while they make their escape.
So on that note, with the ship engine color, this is an interesting thing. So I feel like there's this interesting balance from all of us who've grown up with video games, where a lot of games that I grew up with were really mean and punishing and made you restart. And then a lot of games nowadays can kind of infantile people, where it's like, hey, there's a green door and there's a green key. I wonder what the puzzle could be. You're like, okay, yeah, I'll put the green key in the green door. I got it. Stop treating me like an idiot. So there's like this language with like color to like help people understand the mechanics of the game. There's certain things that you want to lead people to understand how the game works. Where have you landed with regards to specifically color in the game to help people understand what's going on?
Yeah, so I mean, it's gonna have like the Star Wars effect, where like the good guys and the bad guys have very clearly different labeled color schemes and things like that. I also grew up on the older games that were more punishing, and I definitely use them as an influence, but respect the fact that they were a product of their time in a way, and that games should be a bit more approachable now. Like, I don't want you to have to read a 300-page manual before you can fly or anything like that, right? So I'm gonna try to keep that a bit chill in that regard. And the fact that like your ships are on the line, I don't want people to feel bad about losing a ship. I want them to feel like they lost it because of a decision they made, not because like the mechanics are just too punishingly hard or anything like that. or you know, how was I supposed to know a black hole was gonna show up or something? You know, something dumb like that, just to be hard for the sake of being hard. Yeah, or Space Dragon.
Okay. Well, so on that note, how do you know that you've gone too far though with leading players? Like, have you so far in your design or development process been like, yeah, okay, that's too much of like, you know, 50 neon signs pointing the arrow at shoot this object. Okay, I've gone too far. Have you come across that yet?
Well, personally, I hate hand holding in games like that. I hate when like a screen pops up and tells you what to do. So it's all about like safe environments where you can practice and learn as you develop, and that's the way to do it for me. So like your first mission will be like a forced mission that just like teaches you the basics of flight in your own at your own pace, in your own environment, no harm, no foul, nothing can really go wrong, and you'll just get to experiment and learn and grow. And then like the good thing about the strategy layer is that as you unlock new ships, that will naturally become more complicated, so you'll cultivate your own skill set basically as you go.
Okay. Just to like throw it down to chat, Mars, it seems like Barefoot really wants to know about this
Yeah.
systems question. Do you want to
Yeah.
ask it on his behalf?
One of our regulars, Barefoot, asks, do you actually fly between planet systems, or is it just go from menu then into the battle?
So there's no like universe you fly into. No, it's almost like XCOM if you're familiar, Barefoot, where like once you launch into the mission, you get a little quick small loading screen, then you're in the cockpit, then you finish the mission, then you're back to base sort of thing. So it is like sequential in that regards.
Yeah, and that's how like the old X-wing and Tie Fighter stuff was too, where you talk to the different officers or you go to the training grounds, and then you're kind of like teleported into the action.
Exactly, 100%.
So another chat question is just straight up in this world that you've created, is there shields? Do you have shields like Elite or no?
So that's the difference between like the good guys and the bad guys here. Is like similar to Star Wars, like the bad guys don't have the shields and the good guys do, and that's gonna what helps you protect, your ships.
Oh, okay.
In between missions, because like if you can keep your shields up and they just get a little bit hurt on their hull, when they come back you just have to pay to repair them and whatnot, versus like building whole new ships from scratch.
Gotcha. So we're not going to hold you to this, but another chat question by Barefoot. What is the plan, if any, or feelings about multiplayer?
There's 100% no multiplayer. It is entirely
100%.
I'm sorry. I've
Never.
I mean, unless like the release is bananas and I'm like a millionaire overnight or something, and can afford to. But for two guys, it's just too much work to try to figure out how to make like the campaign work in a multiplayer environment and stuff like that.
So this is not about like the soul of the game will never be multiplayer. It's more of just a practicality of like, look, to do that and do that right the way I'd want to, don't have the resources. I'm trying to nail this thing right now. But if this becomes wildly successful and that's what the community wants, you're not like never. You're like maybe, and only maybe then.
Right, yeah, no, like there's no multiplayer is a tricky beast. Like it's very difficult. It's not just something you flip a switch on. And the thing is, like going back to the base building elements, like just having that in a multiplayer environment is like a co-op campaign would be very technically challenging and all sorts of just fraught with design issues, like from a gameplay and a game design issue. I think that would be very difficult. As far as like getting in and dogfighting with your friends or something, I'm not opposed to something like that again, but it's not a focus because it is just so much work.
Yeah.
I really respect that, by the way, because I think a lot of people try to make games be like everything to everyone instead of like, hey, make this be the best thing that's like this. And I also love that, like, instead of being really dogmatic about it, you're like, hey, I'm open to that, but like, that's not what I'm building right now today. I really respect that perspective. And so everyone who's listening right now, which is not many people right now, but will be on the repeat. You heard it here first. Download the game, play it a lot, and then bother him a lot about adding multiplayer because you love it so much. It sounds like.
Yeah, bother him.
Exactly.
It's like I wish I could play like from Dumb and Dumber. Like, so you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah, exactly. So you're saying there's a chance.
I mean, all things are possible, but
I
the
totally
focus 100% right now is not at all on multiplayer.
No, yeah, we want this game to be really cool. Like what we see right now is really cool. Like, and yeah, I mean, even XCOM has a multiplayer aspect to it, but I never use it. Like I don't. It's one of those games where you can just like enjoy on your own, and it's like it's your thing. Like it's like you're saying with a lot of these missions and a lot of these ships, you're taking a lot of time to like really pour yourself into it. So it's nice to have like a game like that, and not everything needs to be multiplayer all the time.
Right, and then on top of that, like for people who don't know, when it comes to development of multiplayer game, multiplayer when you make a multiplayer networked game. Right, you're introducing something that is so large, which is like the never-ending unknown of asynchronous network communication. Like to nail a multiplayer game, it's not trivial. It's actually a very hard thing to get everything right, because in a single player game you can be like, this is what you do, this is what happens. But once you enter into multiplayer networking gaming, there's all this stuff that like isn't about the soul of the game that you have to deal with. Like again, security and cheating, the cost of servers, how all that stuff works. Like it's non-trivial, and I respect the fact that you're like, yeah, I'm not going to pretend that we can just accomplish that. I'd like to make just a good game. It's non-trivial.
And then we'll have
Yeah, exactly. If it was easy to flip a switch, I'd do it. You know what I mean? But like, it's so much of a distraction from the main focus of the game that I just would never want to like delay the game by like 2 years just to add something that, like Mars touched on, maybe 10% of the people actually play multiplayer XCOM. It's for the effort. It's just not worth it for such a small team to try to take on such a massive endeavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let's see. So I'm putting in the description the link to the Kickstarter and a link to the game on Steam, so you can put on your wish
Appreciate
list.
that. Yeah. The Kickstarter is already funded, so no pressure there in that regards. You can, if you back it, you'll 100% be helping us out for sure. You'll get a copy of the game at certain pledges for a discounted rate compared to what we'll sell it for on Steam.
So, Grousler, tell me about a bug that was the either the hardest or the stupidest bug that you had to deal with in the development.
Oh man, like there's so many. So like, where do I begin?
But what's the one that has the best like story value of like you wouldn't believe it, but like I had to do blank, kind of story.
It's honestly getting the AI to fly has been a lot more difficult than I ever would have imagined.
What do you mean get it to fly?
They love to just crash. Like they love it. I can't even show how many clips I have. The AI just like nose diving straight into the ground, just like this is the way. Boom, dead. Over and over and over again.
Wrong as a joke.
Yeah, like I wish it wasn't as hard as it was, honestly, but just like all the sensor data and stuff they have to process as AI, for some reason they just always gravitate towards objects, and so you really have to like mathematically tell them that's not where you want to go, and it takes so much fine-tuning. There's so much fine-tuning of trying to get them to just stop flying into things, because they want to line up their shots and kill you, but at the same time lining up and flying straight towards you, they can't do it indefinitely. You know what I mean? So it's very hard to find the perfect balance of like when they pull back and stop attacking and just like keep themselves alive instead of just like ramming into things over and over and over again. And they do it with ships. They do it to the ground. Like they're just constantly killing themselves.
Mars, I don't want to sign you up for this, but just the idea that he would have like a bunch of footage and then you doing a montage to music over just AI being suicidal is really funny in my mind. I'm just like, yeah, we tried to get the AI. I mean, the AI is just really depressed.
Sometimes I think so, honestly.
That's funny.
All right. Let's see. Oh, wait, one last thing. So now,
Sure.
out of all of this, I mean, it's in the trailer. Like, we have to talk about.
Oh no.
Hold on. Now, I'm just gonna
Oh,
bring
it
it up.
is.
Like, you put it there. You put it out there for all of us to see. But right here, hold on. Let it. It's coming up. It's coming up. 1 second. Almost there. Just rounding the bend. Yeah, this. Like, it's there. You can't not talk about it. It's literally the dragon in the room.
So I mean, like, it's there for a reason,
Yeah.
but I can't explain why yet.
Okay,
I gotta just leave it out there as a little bit of a hook for everyone.
What? Wait, you're not gonna? Okay. Oh my! Seriously?
Hey,
Okay.
Mr. Guy who was teasing the VR thing the whole half of
Yeah. No, I'm feeling it though. I'm like, I thought we were eventually gonna explain this. Okay.
By the way, the world
is very relevant.
I love the worlds, like the atmosphere, the clouds, and the ground. It looks really cool. I really like the way everything looks, like from the cockpit to the dragon, the planets. It looks really nice. You guys, for just 2 guys, you guys really did a great job.
Really appreciate that. Yeah, it was important to have like not just all space scenes. Honestly, the trailer has very few space scenes, which
Yeah,
is
there's some
probably
right
the wrong
here.
way to go too.
Right.
But it was important. I really love like the missions in like Rogue Squadron when you're like flying the X-wings and you're actually bombing targets on the ground and stuff like that. So yeah, it was important to have in atmosphere as well as space battles and scenes and backdrops and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, this honestly, like Mars and I have seen a bunch of different games in different stages, and different sized teams. This is really impressive, for I mean, it's impressive just, end stop, but knowing also that it's really just a very small team. This is really amazing, man. I really wish you the best with this.
Thank you, really appreciate it.
And do you have any things for us to keep an eye out in whatever's coming up? I know it's coming out late, maybe late next year.
Yeah, that's the goal, is late next year. Just honestly, if you could wishlist it on Steam, you'll get updates that way. If you want to hang out with us, there's a Discord set up for it. You'll get news there. Follow my personal Twitter. The actual Remnant Protocol Twitter is pretty sad and lonely right now, so I tend to use my own personal developer Twitter for it, and that's the same here, Grosler on Twitter.
Now, this Barefoot's asking early access. I don't know. Is that a thing you do? I know that's thing.
I'm not 100% settled on early access or not right now. Obviously, funding is a bit of an issue for a small team. Like, we can't do this indefinitely and pick up little contract work and try to keep ourselves afloat. So, like, early access is somewhat appealing as a way to get some additional funding, but I'd also am not opposed to, like, being approached by like a publisher or something like that, try to get funding that way as well, and then that way we could avoid, like, I know early access has a bit of a stigma. Some people are okay with it, some people are like 100% I'm never buying an early access game ever again. So I understand both perspectives, so that's something we are acutely aware of.
People have a lot of opinions about that stuff, and it's kind of unfair.
I could think of one.
One what opinion?
One early access that is indefinitely so.
Would it be Elite Dangerous?
No, it would not. But okay, well, this has been great. This has been lots of fun, and I just wanted to see if you have anything else you wanted to share before we go.
No, just thanks for having me, guys. Really appreciate it. We're just trying to get the word out as best we can. You were the first YouTubers that reached out to us. We'll definitely be getting you an early copy so you can show off and play, even just like early preview builds or something like that.
Yeah.
So, let's make sure we keep in touch in that regard.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate you having me.
Yeah, thanks for
coming for coming by. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming on. We're really happy. This stuff like this is exciting for us. We can't wait. We love space games. We want to see more out there, and so we're just so glad that talented people as yourself are out there making these things.
I love space games too, my man.
All right, Grosler. See you soon, guys.
All right, take it easy. Thanks for having me.
Right,
thanks, Grosler.
All right, everybody, if you want to look up more information about Remnant Protocol, links are in the description. Also, follow them on Twitter. They post quite often. And yeah, Sparks, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, like now that he's not here to defend himself, I'm actually like super familiar with the Unity development pipeline, and what he and that modeler have made is like actually very impressive from just a technical standpoint. I really wish them the best. Sometimes people like they make they make a lot of like fanfare, but like there's not a lot of actual work that goes into it, because Unity has enabled like a lot of like chip-shoddy games to be made. This is not one of those. This is clearly like a passion project. It's like a lot of like thought has gone into like a lot of details. I'm super excited to see where this one goes, man.
Me too. Like there's some games that I've been seeing coming out, and this one I'm the most excited about. Like What's it called? What's the other one that you're telling me about? Marauders looks pretty cool. Um,
Marauders is pretty cool. The problem with Marauders is like I'm not sure. I mean, it's a very harsh game. I don't know if it's good for our stream, but like Marauders is another game that like, um, yeah, it's clearly someone has a very passionate aesthetic. For those that don't know what Marauders is the idea that in World War One, the war never ended, and now you're in space, and so it's a very aggressive like you come in kind of like Tarkov. I've played a lot of Marauders, and I would say 90% of the time it's your teammates that kill you, not the actual enemy, because no one knows who's bad, and it's just friendly fire as abound. It's a fun game, but also like it's also a clearly a passion project. Like a lot of people are trying to like make that be what it is. There's just a lot of also really there's a lot of really bad games that have come out with Unity making games so easy to make that are like money grabs. They're not interesting mechanics, and I don't have respect for those kinds of things.
Yeah.
I understand that people need to make money, and I don't, for instance, like have any like really negative feelings about like World of Tanks or World of Battleships, any of those kind of like freemium models that like you play them and then they try to get your money, or even like Apex Legends, where it's like, hey, you can play the game for free, but here, please pay us eventually. I have no problem with people like playing with those types of business models. There are some people though that just put out games and it's like, this is a bad game. It's a copy and paste game, and you're asking money for it, and you're taking advantage of people. And screw those games. We should be supporting. We should be supporting games like this one, or Marauders, or things that are clearly a bunch of people working really hard to make something cool.
Now, speaking of people working really hard to make something cool, believe it or not, Elite Dangerous is. I'm really excited for this Tuesday, because this Tuesday we got update 14 coming, and Sparks, you've been out of the loop only because you have an actual life where things happen to you and to those around you. Sparks is this the first time everyone's been hearing Sparks for a long time. So everyone in the beginning of the stream was like, "Oh my God, Sparks is here!" So it's a treat having you. But I want to give you a sort of an update as to what's been happening in game. So
I literally, the only thing I know about update 14, because I have been busy, I'm actually like transitioning from being in one location to another.
It's called moving, Sparks.
Yeah, it's called moving.
You can say I'm moving.
Yeah, it's called moving. I literally have read like one blog post on it, and I'm actually kind of curious as to like what actually is happening with update 14, because it's not clear from the blog post that I read.
Okay, so right now, where do I start? There was a bunch of dudes who were like, "Oh, we're gonna make this cool weapon and we're gonna blow up all the Thargoids," and then what they did was they put it inside of a Thargoid base, right? You can see where this is going.
Okay.
Right? And so they use the Thargoid base as the kind of like the beacon of killing all of. It's like they got a fog, like one of those cockroach fog killing devices. You know, we put a tent over your house and you put in the death fog and it kills everything. It was basically that for a whole system. But turns out the cockroaches learned how to use the fog, and then tore off the tarp and sprayed it on the whole neighborhood, and everyone died. So now the Thargoids have sent like these moving stars. They look like stars, but they're coming towards the bubble, right?
Okay.
And you can see them. I think I can see them from where I am here, but they've been coming towards the bubble. At first it was just one, and it was this really weird star with like yellow, green, and bluish sort of like coronas, like little arm trail things, right? Looks like a tiny galaxy. And then it's coming towards us, coming towards the bubble. And then first was one, then there was three, and there was five. Then now there's like 7 or 9, I can't remember, and they're all coming. And the NPCs thought it was a great idea to send out a mega ship to go and say, "Hello, my fine Thargoid friends.
Fellow kids.
Yes. Obviously, you mean us no harm, and I can't think of how many movies that has happened where like there's some sort of peace movement going out to go
Right.
see them,
Right.
and then
Wait,
they got
so-
vaporized this weekend.
So one of the things that I didn't understand from what I was reading was it seems like there's some split between like live mode and legacy mode. Like, what does it actually mean
Okay.
for like?
Yeah, I'll get to that right
Okay.
after I get you caught up with what's going on.
Okay.
But
Okay.
because that does require some explanation because yeah. So now we've got the Stargoids coming. We don't know what they are, but they're about 200 light years away from the bubble.
The bubble, right?
And hold on, let me see. Is my stream still working? Yes, it is. Okay. They're about 200 light years away from the bubble, and so people are thinking, okay, when these Stargoids come, is it like a gateway to hell? Like, are they all going to become roaring out? You know, is it going to be like World of Warcraft, where like the dark portal comes and it's a link from our universe to their universe, and they come running around with feet, and oh my God, now we have to grind. That's the big like
Right.
concern. Do we have to grind for
Yeah.
Guardian technology for suits? Which I, for one, I'm fine with, because everything Guardian technology is glowy, and I love glowy stuff. However, so that's coming,
Mhm.
and so the update 14 is coming in on Tuesday, on the 29th.
Right.
And also coming is that they're splitting the universe. There's going to be a multiverse, not by design, but just by what it is. There's going to be the 4.0 code base, which is Odyssey going forward, right?
Okay.
Now, if you don't have Odyssey, if you're just Horizons, you'll also have 4.0 going forward, except for you won't be able to land on atmospheric planets and walk around on your feet. And I forget what other sort of features you can't do that you don't. If you don't have Odyssey, you can't use these features. But the way the galaxy's generated, the way the missions are, it's all together, right? Because before we had Horizons in 3.8 code base, and the planets there are different. The missions there are different, and then we have 4.0. So now they're just gonna split them. They're like two different things. So you'll have effectively a character save in 3.8 and a character save in 4.0. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong about that. I think I'm right about that, right? And
Mars, I'm not sure I'm a fan of that. I understand why you would do it, but like and actually it's a really nice thing to do. You're basically telling people that, like, hey, if you bought this game and we're moving on, like, we're not going to break the thing that you bought. I really respect that. But man, does that make things complicated for Frontier.
We're not even done.
It's like,
we haven't even gotten over the console players predicament.
Right. It's just like, can you guys just have us all be on like 4.0 instead of like this legacy 3.8? I don't know. It just, my particular opinion about it is like, I would rather reduce the overhead for Frontier's devs and to work on one thing rather than doing all these, like, you know, the things that they are doing, which are nice for players, and I'm sure it's good economically for them. But like, look, like either you're with us or you're not. Like, like get onto the 4.0 stuff and let them work on that. But like all this backwards compatibility, it must be terrible for the devs.
Yeah. So like, if you're in a 3.8 legacy mode. So the 4.0 is a live mode. They call it live because it's actively happening. There's a storyline. There's places and events that you can interact with. Whereas the 3.8 legacy mode, it's locked. Like it's Groundhog Day there. There's even the background simulation is different. So like there's no CGs, there's no Galnet. The background simulation, you can still affect it, but it's a whole other universe. So it's kind of, I don't know. For me, it's kind of cool to me in my own sick
Actually,
way.
now that I think about it, I take back like my vitriol about it. That seems like actually the best thing to do. Is like, look, legacy mode is there and it's fine, and we're gonna be working on live mode, and that allows you to be like, look, I just want to play the old thing, and you can without punishing this player. So actually maybe this is the best thing they could have done. Maybe this is really
it's almost
smart.
like having 2 games, and like I'm kind of looking forward to that for in some streams, because I'll have my character doing something in some aspects of the game in 3.8, and I'll have my character doing something totally different. I don't have to worry about like, okay, I'm gonna do 3.8. I'm gonna do a Horizon stream, 3.8 at Pomache, but I have to fly my commander somewhere else afterwards because I need to do some Odyssey stuff. Now
Right.
they live separately. So for me that's kind of cool, but for those reasons, you know, there's 2 worlds I want to enjoy. I don't know. I feel it's kind of cool. It's the closest we'll get to having 2 commander profiles, because I really have wanted more than one commander profile per account, because sometimes I just want to play completely different, where I don't have all these billions of dollars. Like, woe is me, right? I have $1 billion in my pocket, and I have 12 more in this fleet carrier, and you know, I couldn't be sadder. I'm so sad. No, like just that, you know, I wish I could play differently. So well, now I can. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, also people don't. I don't think that people. Well, some people appreciate, but when we do Elite Dangerous streaming, the bank account and what you spend money on and the things that you do is very different than just like playing the game. Like, you know, like we've like saved a bunch of money because we're like, well, in order to get this shot, we're gonna have to destroy like several very expensive ships, and so like money is different for us in the game.
I think somebody made the joke saying, so what's going to be released first, Remnant Protocol or the next episode of Space Tourism?
No. Oh,
There's at least 2 episodes that are completely filmed, completely edited for the most part, but we actually don't have a script. That sounds totally backwards, but that's why it's not finished. So there's no script. There's like, okay, there's something that happened, right? And then we did it. We filmed everything. Now we need to put Sparks' words that aren't like, oh, I go here. Oh, Mars, you want me to go back? Okay, I'm going forward. All right, up. So that's why we don't have the words yet. And then of course my talkie of my typey.
Yeah, so just so people are clear, the way that we produce content is the most inefficient way that you could possibly do it.
We used to be really efficient. We used to have an episode.
Well, no, we're very efficient at our inefficiency, but like we do it in a weird way so that it does have the charm that you guys apparently like. But
we're quirky like
it's
that, right?
it's not straightforward.
we're totally winky face, and you like it. I don't know. That's I don't know.
Wait,
but
you know what? You know what? Also, when we start to get to the new space tourism videos, I think that will also be the time, just so people are aware. Well, we're gonna try to monetize this channel so that we actually can afford to do this. So part of that is also like, how do we do that? We don't know. We don't want to bother you guys. We don't know what you guys feel about with ads. We don't know if you want to buy shirts or coffee mugs. We don't know. We're trying to be very careful with that. Yeah, well, I mean, it was kind of an ad for that game.
No,
but like
we weren't sponsored by it.
Yeah, we weren't we just liked that game. We like that guy.
But yeah, we want to do some like hats, t-shirts, all that kind of stuff. The stuff that everybody else has, but we do not.
Yeah. Also on that note, one of the things, just so everyone is very clear, is super frustrating with making content on YouTube. I'm just gonna go on my little rant right now, Mars.
Okay, hurry up because we got more Elite Dangerous news.
It sucks with the music stuff. Sometimes like you just want to put a song to like something, and like it's super complicated on YouTube.
Everywhere, like even Twitch, even your
copy
old
struck.
Stuff, even your old stuff in Twitch, like you remember you used to play whatever you want, and now all these streamers had to delete all of their old videos.
Yeah, it sucks because sometimes the song you want to put that stuff to is like, you know, you can't. And Mars, you are very good at finding like these interesting, like free doesn't get you into copy struck territory kind of songs that like
ironically,
still feel good.
It's all provided by YouTube. Like,
I know.
All those are provided by YouTube. You can do your own music. You can find your own music. It just takes hours and hours of searching for the right song.
Yeah, it does. It does. Anyway, going back to 4.0, the live update, this new update.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I thought you were gonna say something, but I realized you don't know anything.
No, all I know is it's update 14 and it's the live mode and it's like code version 4. I don't know anything else about it.
14, and then live mode. Oh, so console guys, if you guys haven't done so, like I believe you have a copy of your commander on PC. Should you accept it? That sort of thing. It's like, let's see, I wrote it down here. Let's see, yeah. Console has a free copy on PC. Not transfer, but copy. So like whatever you're doing now until the 19th, I think that's how it is. Don't quote me on this. All right, I'm trying my best here. I think that's how all news agencies should conduct their stuff. You know, like I'm Ron Burgundy. Like, don't quote me on this, but I'm the news. That everything will be transferred from whatever you did in console, not transferred, copied. So you can still have your console stuff. You can still play your console, whatever. You can invite Ricky over, and then you can go play with controllers. But you'll have a copy also of your commander on PC. So that's good. That's a good thing. I wrote that's good, and I immediately forgot why. But I'm glad I wrote that down because I wouldn't know. I've forgotten now. And then
Wait, so Mars, in the new update, just like thinking more realistically, like what would you care about? Are we going to be able to play with console players?
No.
Easily or no?
No, or not at all.
Not at all.
No, not at all. As we cannot now. We cannot see them. We do not know they exist. It's like another alternate universe. There's many like alternate universes here. There's a legacy universe where Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire is from. And then we live in the Spider-Man 4.0 is the Spider-Man Tom Holland universe.
Okay.
And then console is that other guy from the Social Network movies.
Right.
His name was.
Right. So basically, we no longer have. The good news is we no longer have to deal with people being like, "Can I meet up with you on my console?" Because the answer is just no.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, that's definitely no. I'm glad we didn't invest into that.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, why is my ship unrepaired? I swear I press repair here, and I come back to my ship and it's broken. I think some kids were playing soccer and they kicked the ball over the fence, and it hit my ship. Now I need to like do $5 worth of cleaning the windows.
So Drazzle's asking, so do consoles? Will they be on 3.8 or 4 after the split? I think the answer is it's just a 4. It's just like the consoles will be on 3.8.
Yeah, console right? 3.8. You're stuck in your own little universe. You get your own universe. You don't talk to us. Don't do anything. You're there. There's no update for you. You're out on your own. It kind of feels liberating, doesn't it? Right? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'm out on my own. I'm just gonna do what I want. None of this matters. None of this matters. You know? That kind of feels nice, right? Doesn't that feel good?
Yeah. Well, it feels good, I think, as a human to receive.
To be told that nothing
clarity
matters, that you will be forgotten.
Yeah. Because like you know what's worse is like, will I be forgotten? It's like no.
Right.
You will be forgotten. Oh, okay. Well, that sucks, but at least I know now.
See, Barefoot says when you're transferred, your whole account is copied to PC, and you get a free copy of the base game Horizons. But that's typing soon. Yeah, I think the copying will stop on the 28th. I think the data will be frozen on your commander's account on the 29th. Now in our Discord, Vortex made a very good point, and I would point you guys to that. Let's see, to do a data save just in case. Let's see, where is it written? Good old Vortex.
Well, it's on our Discord. What channel is it in?
It's an elite.
Elite.
Yeah.
If you want to know
Back
and
up your
care,
whole client data folders. I
go
would do
to
that
our
just in
Discord
case.
Elite channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our Discord Elite channel. Go to Elite, and Vortex the 13th has a very handy dandy thing. And I would do that just to be safe. Because you know how it is with just key bindings, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so let's
Lost
do
it so
that.
many times.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that note, Mars, I am going to have to get going.
Okay,
But
cool.
I love you, as you know.
That's
And I love our
great.
fans.
Yes.
And I love that new game coming out.
Good
And I just
answer.
wanted to put out a bunch of love. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. I hope everyone has a good Christmas. I'll be back, but just wanted to put some love out there.
Oh, nice. Yay. You hear that, guys?
Yeah.
Sparks, again, he hasn't forgotten about you.
I don't. I lurk all the time on our Discord channel. I just don't say anything. I just smile and go like, man, everybody here's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Well, now we've all said goodbye, and we're just all still standing here. That's how this feels right now. It's like, oh wait, we're both taking the same bus.
Yeah. Don't you hate that when you're like, hey, goodbye, and then you walk in the same direction for a mile? All right. Well, okay. I will disconnect, but have a great rest of the stream, and I hope that those that are stuck in 3.8 forever enjoy their time.
We'll visit them, Sparks. Don't worry, we'll visit them.
Okay.
We will, because
Okay.
there's lots of features in 3.8 that aren't in 4.0, and it cannot be. And so there's going to be lots of times going back there. So I'm kind of glad that 3.8 exists. It's neat.
Yeah. Cool.
But I still hope people join us in 4.0, because it is. I like Odyssey. It's nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, take care, Mars.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
See you later. Is he gone? Check. Is he gone yet? He left. I can't tell with these Discord stages because it doesn't make the doodle-loot when they leave. Okay, they're gone. Now we can talk about it. All right. Great. Okay, then let's see here. What else is on here? Yeah, so updates 15 and 16. Elite Frontier has mentioned it kind of casually. And they said that what's nice about that, them mentioning it, is that it's a future has been mentioned at all. Because how long have we been running around with, okay, where's our roadmap? Where's things happening? It feels like they have some things that they're finally have in the pipeline. They have some sort of structure that they're going to get features out to us, and they're coming. And instead of being like, okay, Odyssey came out, now we realize now instead of like building on this world that they've created, they have to fix it. So I think they've gotten to the fix it part, and now we're going on with our storyline, which I'm very much enjoying, especially how people react to stuff that are happening out there. Well, I won't go here. No, I don't want to go here. I want to go somewhere else. So 15 and 16, they say it's going to be new gameplay features and mechanics. So again, I think it's going to be a lot of mechanics in terms of new foot combat against Thargoids. Maybe even new ships, like Thargoid human ships, like with the, what's that ship? Not the Orisa. Horus? The one that Palin's making. I think it's going to be that kind of stuff. And if it's not, I'm pretty sure it's going to be something just as cool. But yeah, because a lot of us have been pining about, like, when are we going to have a new ship? We've gone 2 years without a new ship. I haven't seen a new ship in 10 billion years. And all these things. For me, I feel like we have enough ships. But I have so many ships I need to start playing. Because I've never really messed around with an FTL. I've done a stream where I pretended to use an FTL, and I tried to listen to chat, and I ended up building something that chat did not tell me to build, and then they got mad, and so I was like, oh no, I better go use that thing again. Let's see here. Let's see, what happens if you fall into a black hole? Nothing, Master Chief. Nothing. Let's see, why? Because your ship exactly. Your ship overrides you falling into the black hole. Yeah, you'll hit like a perimeter. Though I feel like that's a missed opportunity because Master Chief's helmet. I don't know if you ever if you heard about pulsars or neutron stars. In game, they're much more dangerous than flying into a black hole because the tails of those things, mamma mia, those will fry your ship to no end. And the exclusion zone to those things is like right away. As soon as you come into the system, you better start turning. Otherwise, you're gonna run into it. I would get crushed. I would love to get crushed if you mess up with the black hole. Yeah, right? Oh, Master Chief, you have done that. Okay, good. What was that stream we were doing? We were trying to step on people. That was weird. Okay, let me go ahead and fly to where I want to go. We're going to our home system, Helveti. It's not our home system yet because our BGS crew, led by none other than Commander Disemboweled Ego, we're trying to get the good old stab. Let's see here. The good old stab Space Tourism Action Board. Our player group. That's our player group. We started out a few systems away, but we're trying to win our way back, fight back for our country, and take over our planet. We have a city there, but we need to get our faction over there. And once that happens, I think we win the game as a channel. I think after that, we just, I don't know, stop, right? That's it? No, of course not. We're gonna do all, since it's anarchy, our faction's anarchy, we can just do whatever we want. We can blow things up. I don't know, what else can you do in anarchy? What I've always wanted to do is, there's a space station there, and I just want to be a laser cop. Get in a Vulture or Viper and just scan people for wanted and just blow them up. Because if you try to do that right now, the cops get really mad and like, what are you, a vigilante? And they shoot at you. Like, oh, I'm just trying to help. But yeah, there you go. See, Barefoot says, I lost my ship and data on the way back from Beagle Point. Oh jeez, by Neutron Star. I wasn't paying enough attention. That sucks. That's never happened to me. Nope, not once. Not on this account. Those who know, know. Debug says, yeah, I don't exactly feel like going out of my way to get a hang of it. What are we talking about? Oh, to get the hang of getting, oh, so, I think they're talking about flying into the tail of a neutron star to get the neutron boost to your engine so you can jump further. Now, I only do that when I'm going somewhere really very far, like to Colonia or to somewhere that happens to have a neutron star on the way. In the bubble, it really doesn't matter. But yeah, I'm there. I'm at the I've gotten a hang of it sort of person. The thing you want to do though is this, guys. Go to your ship and right here, dethrottle on hyperspace. If you're flying into an area that has lots of neutron stars, have this on. I know it's annoying to have to, go full speed every time you go into a new system, but honestly, it's worth it. Ask Barefoot Gaming 101 if you think it would have been worth it to him. Having said that, that doesn't protect you from the chance you might just come into the tail. That's super rare, but it happens. And that super sucks because you can't control. There's so much power going into your ship's engines that they're just firing crazy, and so that's why you're maneuvering all nuts. And I don't know what to say to you there. I don't know. I'm sorry. Don't do that. No, that's not good. That's not good. That's not helpful. I don't know. It hasn't happened to me, so I suppose I don't know what to say. Okay, now we're going to. Why am I wanted in this? I haven't been to this. I'm wanted in my own city. Ghost Draft Tourist Hub. Told you guys. Why am I wanted here? What did I do? I didn't do anything. Did I? Have I done something here? I haven't been here in weeks. It's been a while since I've been here. Let's see. What's my notoriety? 0. I can't imagine what I've done. I haven't been here in forever, and I'm wanted. Well, no good. Bad news is good. Good press is bad press is good press, or any press, right? I don't know. Okay, coming in here. Let's see. Debug says every time I see your hyperspace jump, it scares me into thinking it's a hyperdiction. Lol. Why don't you have the aggressive vibrations? Oh, is mine different? I don't know. I didn't. Is there a thing? I don't like that they changed the color of the hyperdictions. I liked it the way it was before.
Incoming message.
Incoming message. Let's see here. Carrier jump complete. Okay, we're gonna go home. Hopefully it's daytime. We'll go to Sparks Tower. Just gonna go jump on it. Sometimes I just like to go into our home system and oh yes, daytime. And I just like jumping around. Marchand. Oh, I want to go there and blow things up. Maybe that's why I'm wanted. Okay, here we go. Coming around the bend. Can't come in too fast or else get a speeding fine. Alright, so yeah. Updates 15 and 16 are in the works. They know what they have coming up, and I'm very happy about that. I'm very proud of where they've gotten, because it hasn't been easy. And I'll tell you what, we haven't made it easy for them either as a community. But you know, that's what happens when players really love their game, and I think we're seeing why they're sticking it out too and giving us features and cool stuff that are going to be upcoming. And I really hope, I really hope that that on Tuesday, with whatever happens, that if it is Thargoid feet that we have to worry about, that we don't have to wait till update 15 to get Guardian technology, because I really want glowy weapons. It's not enough that I have like a glow-in-the-dark suit, right? It's this isn't enough for me. I need my weapons to glow too. I love it. Oh, and I'm home. Ghost Giraffe Tourist Hub, guys. We made it. Okay, the first thing we do is we go to the planetarium. Am I streaming on Tuesday? Probably not, because like most things, like most games, it's gonna take all day for that stuff to download, to upload, and then there's, you know, first day jitters. Like when the release comes out, it never works, right? Oh, we're gonna have Red Scarlets all over the place, and that's not something unique to Elite Dangerous. That's just across the board. All games are like that. Another reason why I'm sorry to say, is that I'll also be playing the expansion to World of Warcraft, or at least trying to download it, because I think also that will like take forever, because that's coming out on Tuesday too. Flight of the Navigator? No, Dragonflight. I think that's what they called it. I've been playing it so far, and this weekend it's double XP. I went from level 48 to 58 in like 2 hours. It was crazy. And I've been really liking it. I've been really liking the changes they made. I know this is not a World of Warcraft stream, but I'm really trying to make it one. I won't. I will never do that to you, because it's too boring. You guys think that Elite Dangerous is a big like grind that you have to like search for materials week on end? No, you haven't seen anything until you played World of Warcraft, where imagine you want a new ship, right? Or a new upgrade to your ship, and then you have to fight this battle against some Thargoid guy, You can only do it once a week. If you kill him, great. Does he give you the materials for the weapon you need? Nope. Oh, I guess I have to try again next week. That's what World of Warcraft is. You have 1 week to do anything. And if you don't get it, you have to wait another week. It's the worst, and I love it. Whee! Okay. All right. Oh, I've made a huge mistake. Okay, it's fine. All right, so here we are. We're in my city, and it's beautiful. Beautiful. Let's see, morning, I believe. Oh, we can see the main planet from here. Oh, you don't always see the main planet from here either, too. And it's the daytime. Oh, what a great day. Just strolling along, singing my song. Let's see. Just a hunch. I could be wrong, says S. James. I think they will... Oh, no. I could be wrong, but I think it will come later. What is S. James talking about? I'd be surprised if we see any on-foot combat in 14. You would? I feel like it's on the way. I really do. Because they said Update 14 will be like a game-changing thing. Like, it's as consequential as Odyssey was, right? I mean, I forget where I read that. But, or maybe I'm making this up. I don't know. But I have a feeling that I felt that somebody said, boy, what a way to start a thing. That it will be as consequential as us having space feet. So with that, I feel that means, you know, fair enough. Give the Thargoids some shoes too, right? Have them buy some in-game currency stuff. Commander Picard's online. Jeez, I tell that guy to go and turn in his data, and he doesn't want to. I get it, because he's on the whole like 9-year mission to seek out new worlds and find new life and civilizations, and he doesn't want to turn in anything until his mission's over. But at the same time, it's been like how many years? So I just worry for him. I worry. It will change the galaxy forever. Yeah, see? Is it possible to steal people's ships? No, it's not. Although in our episodes, we did make it possible for us to steal ships. But it's not possible to steal somebody's ship. It is possible to steal somebody's SRV, provided you're in the same team as each other. Okay, this isn't gonna work out. Ouch. Nope. It didn't. Alright, I'm going to Sparks Tower over here. The poster of Yamix is up there. Have you guys ever wondered what Yamix looks like? It looks like that. Fun guy. I miss him. We got to hang out together at PAX East years ago, and it was so much fun. I wish we could hang out more often. In like real life though. Let's see. Hans Vickman says, did it take dev involvement to get your city? What's the process? Yeah, it took dev involvement in that when Odyssey came out, they reached out to a few streamers and said, hey, if you had to name a settlement in Elite Dangerous, what would you name it? And that's all they asked us. And of course I said, you know, the Ghost Giraffe Space Tourism Hub Extraordinaire. It was much longer than what it is now. And they wrote back to me and says, can you make it can you make it shorter? And I was like, oh, okay, how to make this shorter? And so I was like, okay, Ghost Giraffe Space Tourism Hub. We'll go with that. And they're like, okay, cool. And they didn't say anything after that. They just said, okay, what a cool name. And in the back of my head, I was like, what if they named like one of those cool settlements, those cool like Odyssey settlements, like one of those tourism ones, like with a bar and stuff. What if they named that after us? That'd be so cool. I had no idea they're gonna give us a whole city. So it was for that. It was to Does this rock look destroyable? I don't know. So that's how it happened. There's no application process to it. It was just like a nice little thing they did for us streamers who have been along for a long time. So it's cool, and I love it. I like that it's out here in Nebraska, not Nebraska, in Wyoming, and yeah, I've always said Elite Dangerous is a space sim set in the Old West, and this is where they put us. Now, having said that, they flat out refused to let us have this system be our home system for our player-made faction. Not that they said openly that they wouldn't put us here, but every single excuse they could give for not putting us here, they gave, even if it didn't make any sense. They're like, "Oh, there's another player-made faction there." Like, no, there's not. We spent like 4 months kicking them out. There's nobody here. Oh, your name is too funny. Make it less funny sounding. Okay, we'll change the name. Okay. Oh, you're an anarchy faction. Your description of your faction isn't anarchy enough. Okay, we'll change it. Okay. Okay, description's good. The location is good. Change your name again. This took, I'm not even kidding, over a year of back and forth, and I was like, I don't think they want us here. I don't think for whatever reason, they don't want us here. And then finally, we sent an application. They like the name, they like the faction. They're just like, you can't have it at Helvetii, like, for no reason why. And so we're like, fine, we'll. Disemboweled chose somewhere where we could strategically build our way to here, back to this place, our home. And one day we'll make this ours again. So it's nice. It's kind of nice. Honestly, it worked out better because it gives us something to do, and it's kind of fun to be like, okay, one day this again will be our homeland. It was taken away from us by no one. Going down the slide. And one day we'll have it back. And guys, we will. So if you guys want to help us out in fighting the good fight, getting Space Tourism Action Board, aka Stab. If you want to help us stab our way through the galaxy, go to our Discord and go to our player faction. And there's a pin there, and Disemboweled has written down what you need to do. And yeah, and it's fun. I like doing a couple things there a week, and then seeing how it goes. Okay, I'm gonna try to mount Sparks Tower. I forgot how I did it last time, but I'm gonna try my best. Okay, here we go. Okay, fine. Good. Okay, jump. Oh, is this real? Sometimes these textures aren't actually here. Okay, they're good. This one's here. Stab went into expansion yesterday, says Disemboweled. If all goes well, they should arrive in Helvetii in 9 to 10 days. You heard that, guys? 9 to 10 days. Oh my god. I mean, what happens then, Disemboweled? Like, at that point, do we just forget everything behind us and just focus on getting ourselves to here? To our land here? This is our land. So, like, our blood is literally in this land for how many times we've gone to war with each other. Like, this is hallowed ground. Jetpack parkour. It's the best. Okay, where do I need to go from here? Oh god, not there. That was a mistake. Okay, I think I can go here and... Okay, good. Okay, I just wanted to test if I could do that. Okay. Oh, it's scary. Doing this is scary. Like, you guys are watching this, but when you're actually here playing the game, this is scary. Okay, nope. Going back down where it's safe. Alright, I need to jump up there. Going on to here. Sometimes these assets aren't actually there. They're like see-through. Okay, so next. Oh jeez, where am I going to go from here? Doo-doo-doo. I think I'll try to jump to there. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Here we go, guys. Just. Oh. Okay, good. Alright. I can do it. I can do it. I'm not doing it. I'm falling. I'm falling. I don't like falling. Oh god. Okay, I'm fine here. I landed on the gazebo. Oh my god. Alright. I'm better from where I was. Let's try this again. Oh, I did it. I think we did this on a stream one time, and we needed a ship ladder eventually. But I'm gonna try to get as high as I can. Does anybody else have any other questions? Wow, that ship is really beat up. See, alright. But you don't have a HUD. You can get VR on foot. Oh, yeah, you can. Imagine doing this with VR. That'd be crazy. Fractile space. That sounds familiar, Master Chief. Fractile space. I wonder why that sounds so familiar. It'd be nice. This is what it's like if you were to be able to go into these buildings and just look around, right? And I know a lot of folks are like, "Oh, I wish there was like ship interiors," right? And a lot of people who are like, "Oh, stop asking about ship interiors," are like, "There's no gameplay to it, right?" Well, there's no gameplay to just walking around in here, but I'm having fun doing it, right? It's just kind of fun. Just go into a building. Take an elevator, look out the window. Like, I don't know. That appeals to a lot of people. Like myself, too. It's just different. Experiencing the world by just existing through it. There's something about that. I think I can make this jump. Oh, I did it. This must be where they have lunch meetings, because there's like a protective thing here. Or it's meant to get out, prevent people from coming in here. You know how funny it is when I realized, this was more back in Horizon's time, but remember when you would go do missions in your SRV, and you had to go to settlements, and you had to drive into the settlement, and then you would have to scan all the pylons and then leave. But sometimes there'd be like this magnetic gate. They're like, oh no, I can't get through the magnetic gate. But like the planet is like 0.03 gravity. You could just like jump over it. That just makes me laugh so hard. When I realized, wait a second, I can just jump over this. Oh, please, please, please. Okay, good. Okay, I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna back and forth here. Oh, okay, cool. Alright. Jump! Oh, that's cool. Look at that planet there, too. That guy's not usually there, obviously, because this, planets revolve and all that kind of stuff. So it's really neat to see it during the daytime. I also just want to get my SRV and just drive. Just go. Sometimes I do that. And then I always tell myself, oh, I'm going to go get some materials. But sometimes I just drive and drive and drive. It's almost a shame that we have all these worlds that are just so expansive, but there's like nothing to do there. Like I was saying on our Discord earlier today that sometimes I go to a planet and it's so beautiful that like it's really hard for me to leave that planet, and it makes me wish I could like build a base there, so that way I have somewhere to go back to and enjoy that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, I just made it. Oh boy. Okay. I think this is not here. No, this is here. Can I stand on this? Ouch. No, I don't think I can. Huh, I wonder if I could jump there. Let's see. I think I can. I'm gonna go ahead and do a run and jump. Oh no, I missed. Okay, it's okay. Whoa. And we'll slow down. Okay, it's fine. Everything's fine. Let's try that again. Okay, wasn't there base building stuff found by the guys who disassembled and looked through the code? I thought there was, but don't know what happened. Right, I saw that spoiler stuff too. As in, like, I saw that video that they put out. And there's also in the game, there's materials for like building schematics, right? There's all these schematics that for stuff that doesn't exist in the game yet. And so it's kind of pointing towards that, but the way the game is, there's nothing. I don't think there will be a base building thing, as much as I would love that there to be. I think whatever building stuff they saw might have been just like the new settlements and like the new like sort of the new architecture for the buildings that are in the game currently. That's my guess. But I don't think, just the way the game works, aside from your fleet carrier, right? There's nothing permanent in the game that is part of you out there. Right? So for there to be like, okay, I'm going to buy a plot of land and I'm going to put this here, right? I'm going to buy that. I have my concourse and 2 auditoriums. Number one, you'd have to physically affect the planet, because this is all flat here, right? We'd have to physically affect the planet. And so have you seen how many bugs we love to run around in? Imagine that, but for everybody. I can't imagine that working out. Base building. Maybe a small little thing like that. I don't know. Maybe. But even then, I imagine that would invite so many bugs in the game. So I just don't see that happening. Come on. Oh, I did it. Oh, I did it. I made it. Oh. Okay. Oh, I made it here too. Okay, good. Have you streamed the Guardian beacon sequence? Yes, I have, and I love that place. That's one of my favorite things in game, is the Guardian beacon sequence, because there's nothing else like it in the game. It's like this giant thing that moves, and with lightning. Okay, number 1, lightning. 2, things in space that move around, right? 3, this thing that shoots something out the bottom of it, poops it out, and you can pick it up. Like, that's all cool. Like, that's right there. It's so rewarding, not just to visit it, but for all the things you do, and that you get to see too. Ooh, look at that! I turned around here. I'm not even kidding, guys. I thought it was raining, but it's just this thing here. I was like, why is it raining? Okay, I can jump here, then there, then there. I think that's what we did last time. It's just that this thing here, oh, it's very finicky. falling to my death. Oh no. Ouch. Okay. Okay, can I go back? Can I go back? Please. Nope. Okay. So all progress lost. Okay, let me see this. Alright, so we're here right now. We need not to be. Oh, we were so close. I suppose I can jump up on there and go up there. Yeah, I can do that. This is savable. Okay. Alright, cool, cool, cool. Alright, and then we were just up here. Alright, before I make that mistake again, I'm gonna walk around the other side and see what's there. Whoa! Let's see. That's a big building. It's funny. This isn't even like the tallest of buildings in the game. Well, oh, somebody's coming in. Who is that? Somebody has a T9. Is that an NPC? It flies like an NPC. Yeah, it's NPC. F. Beacon is so cool. I've got 10 keys. I know. The keys themselves also are really cool because it's so shiny. They're like little beach balls of lightning. Like if you get them and then you just dump them somewhere, like in your SRV, they're really fun to look at. Okay, so if I jump, I can jump to here. Then I can jump in here to there, I think. I think I can go here. Oh, it would be dicey. Alright, let's try it. I think I can do it. I'm gonna try. The worst thing is I just fall to that ledge again. Wait, no, that's not the worst thing, because that's further away. Okay. Can I stand on that? No, I can't. Going back. Alright. Alright, so I need to jump up there. I need to go from here. It's appropriate that I'm wearing a cat suit. There's no way I'm making this. Oh my god, how far does this go? To here. Yeah, that's not happening. I need to go to this. Right there. Can I jump from there to there? I don't think so. Hold on, let me try something first. Because if I'm here, right? I jump. Do I get higher than this? I do not. I think we're stuck here. Nothing here? Nope. Can't get there. Huh. Probably spelt that wrong. Helveti. Was this him? Oh yeah, we're in Helveti. Beautiful place. I think the only other place I would want it to get is like a snow planet, like Hoth. But I like this place a lot. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna do it. Oh, I did it, but I didn't do it. Ouch. Okay, I thought I could make it to the edge there, but I can't. Because as soon as I get to the other side, I just the slope of it, and I just go falling. Team invitation received. Oh my goodness. Who's here? Team invitation. Where'd it go? Team invitation received. Disemboweled killed me. Barefoot killed me. Elbar killed me. Potato Island destroyed my vessel. He was on my team. Whoever sent that team invite, send it again because it went away. We join another ship. What is this? Is this for multi-crew? Community goals. Further activities. Okay, who's nearby anyway? Nobody's nearby. Everybody is like playing solo. Yeah, Barefoot, apparently you killed me. I was laughing so hard last week when Barefoot when uh-oh. Oh my god. When somebody threw down a shield generator and you shot your rocket launcher and it killed you and the person next to you. That was so funny. I just loved how we tried to like metagame that whole scenario. I don't think I'll make it to there. Do you guys think I'll make it there? I'm gonna go. Because I think I've gotten to as far as I can go on this. Let me see. Is there a ledge here? Is that a ledge? No, I don't think it is. So I'm gonna try to run and jump to there. If not, I'll try to land on one of those guardian things. Guardian Leviosa, right? Alright. Yeah. Yeah, it's almost over. Here I go. I'm jumping. Let's see how close we can get to the concourse. Not close at all. Alright, we're gonna Goomba stomp this skimmer here. Oh no! Oh, I died. I tried to apply a band-aid because my health was halfway down anyway, and I ran out of time. Might be able to round the corner and climb up from the side. Yeah, I tried that one time, but it wasn't working out. And I felt like you can recover, but there was not enough. I started sliding down that slope, and there's not enough room to have me recover. Let's see, cause of injury, impact damage. They put me in a prison ship. They didn't catch me. That shouldn't count. If you just died because you fell off a building, they shouldn't put you in jail for that. I know I'm wanted, but they didn't know. I mean, they probably just picked me up, being like, "What's this guy doing here? Oh, he's wanted. Let's put him in a prison ship." Okay, well, I hope this clears my name then. I hope that this does everything it's supposed to do. Good. They had the decency to bring my spaceship with me. Because sometimes I have to port my spaceship to where I am. And that's no fun. After that, I was like, okay, fine. I just tell my ship to come to where I am, and I log off. Like, see you later. See you tomorrow, game. I'm gonna go fight dragons. Jingles, yes, it's out on Tuesday. Update 14. Coming out Tuesday. Let's see. Let's go over some stuff real fast. They said it's going to be one of the biggest updates to the game. It's going to change the way you play the game or whatever. It's going to be as significant of a change as Odyssey was to Horizons. I feel that's overhyping it. I don't know who I heard that from, but somebody else heard that too. But who knows? I think it's going to be the Thargoid Lakes. If not, then I can't imagine what it's going to be. I really can't. And I love my favorite people to follow in the Elite Dangerous community, like the community managers, is Beardo, Bruce. Is it Bruce? Is Beardo? Is he the Bruce guy? Oh god. Anyways, because he always posts like pictures of Palpatine, and it really cracks me up. It really feels like something evil is on its way. And if I were a community manager, I would definitely do as he does. The Stargoids are literally just hundreds of light years away, from the Sol area, and we'll see what comes. Because we tried to send, as humanity, tried to send a ship of peace. I wanted to go this way, and it didn't work out for them. It really did not work out for them. Arthur has the beard. That's right. Arthur. Well, I don't know why I said Bruce. I know who Bruce is. It's not Arthur. And it really didn't work out for them. And now it's going to keep going. So if anybody thought that the Stargoid thing was not Thargoids, and they are now wrong. Because it is definitely Thargoids. And if anybody thought that Thargoids were coming to say hi, they are not. They're coming to vaporize all of humanity. And I saw somebody write, they wrote a really convincing thread of how, like, maybe Earth will be destroyed. Because you can't visit Earth, right? But they're just going to go there and just wipe out a whole bunch of stuff. Which is fine enough, because you can't go there anyway. They wrote other things about this that made it kind of seem to make sense, right? Like the moon, you can't visit the moon even. I kind of hope that doesn't happen, because it's kind of nice flying to Earth and be like, hey, I know where that place is. I've been there. Although there's no Florida anymore, so I'm not from Florida, but like if you're looking at over there, there's like no New Orleans, like the whole Gulf area is like flooded. But there's pretty lights there still. According to Elite lore, Earth is pre-destroyed in World War III. What do you mean pre-destroyed? But they don't do the old Elite lore. They're all going on to like some weird like expanded universe thing. Checkmate. Checkmate, Thargoids. We've done it ourselves. You ever do that? You're about to lose in a game and you just do something so you lose? I would do that. In chess, I would look at this. I solved all my problems. I'm no longer wanted. What I would do in chess is if I felt I was going to lose, I would send my king to the other side of the board. As soon as I got to the other side of the board, I'd say, I win, and I'd knock over my king. And the other person's like, what, you didn't win. You literally just conceded. I'm like, I'm not conceded. I'm telling it how it is. I won. I play by my own rules. The Maverick. Anyways, but yeah. There are going to be 2 new universes. The 4.0 code base, which is Odyssey and Forever. That will have Horizons and Odyssey, right? People will be playing in Horizons and Odyssey, having the same lore and features you can experience from a story point of view and into a game mechanics point of view. But there'll be certain things you can't do in Horizons that you can only do in Odyssey. However, there's also a 3.8, which is the legacy build, which does not have any of the atmospheric planets walking around or anything like that. But that's not going to be supported. And there'll be 2 different character saves moving forward from November 29th. Moving forward, there'll be the 4.0 character save and the 3.8 character save. So we're going to have like this split in the time continuum, which I kind of like. It's kind of neat that I'll have like 2 characters now on the same account. It's really weird, but that's how it is. What else? Yeah, there'll be no CGs in 3.8 Legacy, no Galnet, no background. There will be background stuff, but it won't affect all this stuff like what we're doing now. So yeah, it's gonna be really different. Unless they mean like a different universe, like literally a different universe, in that there'll be 2 Elite Dangerous universes now. So maybe that's what they meant. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they meant. Coming in for a landing. Alright, any last questions? He's wrong. He uses mouse and keyboard. Are you playing with joystick or keyboard or mouse? All of the above, the dog. I use my keyboard to maneuver in space, like Super Cruise. If I'm delivering things from a thing, I just use my keyboard, like in Star Trek. If I'm doing anything complex, then I use, like landing on a planet, I use the key, or dogfighting. Unless I'm using my T10, because that's all turrets, I use keyboard. But if I'm dogfighting, then I use joystick. If I'm on foot, I use mouse and keyboard. If I'm an SRV, I use keyboard and just the throttle of my joystick. So it's really everywhere. It's a mix of literally everything. Any other questions? Any other questions about Remnant Protocol, the game we were featuring at the beginning of the stream? I'm very excited to see when that comes out, and I'll be really excited to show you guys whatever builds we'll be able to play around with, and or show you guys as they come up with new stuff. Because right now they just have the 1 ship and a couple of missions, but they're going to be fleshing out more stuff. But it's only made by a single man, and it's 3D it's 3D modeler. My home away from home, McAdoo Enterprise. I love this place. Let's see. You got anything good?
I've got the
Sterling
best
Martin.
stock in the system.
You're new. You weren't here before. Spacesuits, only 4 of them. Ooh. Artemis Grade 2. Don't need it. What about guns? What do you have of these guys? Zenith Mark Grade 2. Don't need that. You know what I wish? I wish they had more skins for the L6. Because if I were to ever get a skin for one of these weapons, it'd be the L6. Having said that, the Philion has some really cool
Maybe
skins.
next time.
But I don't know. I just don't feel like a connection as much as I do to the rocket launcher. I'm gonna take a seat. This is nice. This is nice, right? Just gonna sit here with my my cosplay on. You know, and pretend. Now here I am at PAX International, Intergalactic. There we go. Yeah, that was not unpleasant. Beautiful. All right. Do I know what is Azimuth's saga about? Could you tell us in short? Azimuth. No, I couldn't tell you in short.
My advice: it's always worth taking a few bounties just to keep your skills sharp.
I couldn't tell you, honestly. If I said anything about it, I'd be entirely wrong. No. I don't even remember if they're pro or anti-Targoid.
Please, is there any
I'm one of those players who don't read the text of the mission. I just look at the objectives, and it says collect five fragments of Auxiliar. And like, okay, now I'll go do that, and then I won't read anything else. That's how I'm in the game too. Let's see. Is there anything else I can tell you in short? D-Dog says, haven't played this game for over a year, and I didn't play Odyssey. How different is Odyssey from Horizons in terms of new content? It's not that much different in that, okay, it's the same game, right? Same game, basically, more or less. Except for you can do this. You can walk around, right? And then you go to these terminals, if you want. And then you can select missions that you do on foot. And if you look at some of our backlog streams, we do a lot of this kind of stuff. And a lot of it is just playing around at these places. And you can go to all kinds of stuff. You can do like exterminate like a whole settlement, or just take out one dude, or take this box and take it to this person somewhere else, but don't get scanned. Or my favorite is these operation ones where you have to infiltrate and you have to go somewhere real sneaky like, and you have to like, get data out, don't get caught. When I first did these for a good 3 months, I failed every single mission, but I had so much fun because it was so hard. I had to figure it all out. So I don't know, I like it a lot. I find myself on foot more than I thought I would. Because I thought, okay, it'll be fun, you know, be on foot here and there, like when you leave your ship and like stretch around, look around your ship. But I find myself as a player in my skin more than as a player in my spaceship, which I think Elite originally just was. Like you are your spaceship, depending on what spaceship that is. But now I feel like I'm a person who flies spaceships, and I won't even go into how I feel about fleet carriers, because that's a whole other bag of tomatoes. Yeah, give it a go. And if you have a chance to play with us, D-Dog, online when during streams, you're more than welcome to join. This is one of our few streams, handful of streams, where we don't have anybody else here but me. It's very rare. We have like 12 people here just running around, gesturing, pointing, clapping.
Usually find a bargain somewhere.
But not today. I think because today was more of a update thing, and there was no like thing we could do. Oh, also you can walk up to these guys, and these guys have missions too.
There's a lot in the balance with this job.
And
You
it
want
tells
to know
you,
more? Great.
take a package, easy. But what's cool is that when you go to this place, and sometimes at the place there'll be another mission for you there, and you'll go on this weird
Yes.
adventure.
Sorry to bother you.
And at the end of the day, like, what it is all about? Do you need the materials? Do you need the money? Not really, right? I mean, if you want to upgrade your suit, maybe. But I just like to see where it takes me. That's why I play these things. I don't know about you, but I just like to see what the experience is like, rather than like, what do I need to do today? Okay. All right, guys. We're gonna go. We're out of time. But thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed the first half of the stream as much as you obviously enjoyed the second half. Leave a like, and any more questions you have, write them in the comments, and then we'll forward those to the developer, or you can write in the live stream channel in our Discord. You can write there too, and we'll read them, and we'll send them along, and we'll get answers. As long as it's something that you can answer. If you can't answer, then I apologize. I'm gonna go stand in this corner for the rest of the day, evening, try and